Can Mario Bros use improvised sponges for dishwashing? Yes. You guys are shockingly similar to a scrub mommy. That being said, I feel like if I scrub with you guys too enthusiastically, it will result in like a weird residue being left on stuff. So you're only like a very emergency scrub. Woo! Oh, as beautiful as this fire. Okay, I don't know how they rendered that fire, but it looks hella really. Okay. Also, first time chat from K1Z, Mr. Kebab. Hello, a friend of mine is afraid of women. What kind of advice would you give him? That's a tricky one. I'm gonna guess, Mr. Kebab, that your friend is very young and that you are possibly very young, which if you are under 18, you should not be in my stream. So you have a friend who's scared of women. So there's a couple options here. If your friend is scared of women because of a traumatic life event, that is not something I can help with, period. That is something that like if you had a traumatic life event related to women, you're not afraid of women, that is something that would warrant therapy and a lot of help. If it's scared of women as in someone gets very socially anxious around women and maybe like stumbles over their words and stuff like that, my best advice would be to continue to go to situations where you are interacting with women of different ages. I think honestly a great place to deal with this is at a workplace, because oftentimes you will end up working with women that you are not initially nervous around because you don't find them attractive. I would say actually a lot of the times that someone is afraid of women, they're afraid of attractive women in particular. So I feel like it's a good idea to continue to work with women of all different types. Meeting women of all different types, not including the ones you find personally attractive, will help you realize that they are in fact just humans and genuinely not that different in most of the ways that count from you and your broskies, and that will hopefully help with some of the nerves. But the fact of the matter is most people get a little anxious around people who they find very attractive. The key thing is to remember that not all women will be attracted to you, and that is a-okay. Welcome. Have a homie dress up. Yeah, role playing, I guess. Oh, women are humans, I know. So you afraid of Ronenn then? That was so smooth, guys. Holy shit, that was so smooth. It took a second where I was like, what? Why? And I realized what you were implying, and I'm like, oh, well, if it helps, if you weren't here earlier, Mama Haustoria had a roast that should reassure you that I am very mid overall. So if you weren't here earlier, I was talking about how Mama Haustoria and her kindness and how kind that she is. Sometimes her honesty is also a brutal roast. So when I started streaming and I showed her and I'm like, look, this is like my avatar. This is my representation of myself. She kind of gave me a look. She's like, people are going to think you look that pretty, I was like, yeah, I know. She's like, okay, just so long as you know that's an unrealistic expectation. Like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, classic. Yeah. She's like, just so you know, they're gonna think that's exactly what. And I'm like, yeah, I know.